Let me share you my story, my experience changing my fear of water into becoming something that I love. And now I'm teaching this to people on how you can be a scuba diver despite you have your own fear of water, like myself. I transform this fear as my push factor to learn something, to wanting to change myself into something better. And please bear in mind that changing your fear into something that you no longer fear, it takes steps. It takes processes. It does not happen overnight. You need to have a proper plan on how you want to change that or what action items you can do for you to slowly, gradually change your fear to becoming at least comfortable. You might have still that kind of fear, but lesser as you keep on doing those things over and over again. How I do it is that I focus myself in a way to think about what benefit I can get once I conquer or manage that fear of water and transfer it into something I like. What benefit can I get from it? The first thing is that I don't need to feel worried when I have a water activities, or I don't need to feel worried when I need to go nearby the seas, or just having some fun, knowing that I know that I can survive. That's how I changed my perspective. Let me share you my story, my experience changing my fear of water into becoming something that I love. And now I'm teaching this to people on how you can be a scuba diver despite you have your own fear of water, like myself. So let's move back in time at the moment that the first time I decided to take up a scuba diving course. First thing is that I took scuba diving course not because I want it in a way. Yes, part of it I want it, but the real reason is that I want to challenge myself. I know deep inside me, I have this fear of water. I have no confidence in water. Okay, just a bit of background of yours of myself. I only knows. I mean, I really learned into swimmings only during my university years. Before that, I just can only just play around in a swimming pool without a proper swimming techniques or a proper swimming coach. But during my university years, I self-learned. I joined a swimming club, but I don't really do it seriously. My intention is that as long I can move from point A to point B, as long I can float, surface, it doesn't need to be perfect surface. It doesn't need to be a perfectly swimming techniques like a breaststrokes or butterfly strokes or whatever stroke it is. My intention is that as long I can survive at the water. That's it. And during my university years, all I did was just my arena is just swimming pool. That's it. Swimming pool. I never been to the real oceans in a way. Swimming at the sea without even wearing life jacket. I never did that before. So I was thinking why I didn't want to do that. I mean, I try to swim in the open seas because I know like I still have that fear. I'm deep myself. I don't have confidence in the open sea because the way I see is that I cannot see the bottom. I cannot see what if like I need to stand up because at the pool usually we just swim at the chest level. Whenever anything happen, I can just stand up and yeah, that's about it. So it comes to a point that I don't want to live my life like all this way thinking I only can do just up to swimming pool. I want to explore what's beneath the oceans, what's really under in the seas. When you see like National Geographic's videos of underwater life, is very colorful and interesting to explore. And I took that drive in a way to motivate myself to change. I don't want to feel like, you know, feeling of, you can say a bit of FOMO, but to to reframe it is that what can I benefit from taking scuba diving class? First is that I know that maybe after taking scuba diving class, I can feel more confidence around water since I've been into the seas, right? That's at the time of my thinking. I didn't pass it at the first try. I come back again for a second attempt, which I think I'm going to share that story on another video, but that's that's basically for this video in a way, how do I start facing my own fear and what drives me to change. My guideline that I want to share on how did I prepare myself before I decided to take that scuba diving course. The first step is that start to expose yourself into your things that make you fear. In a way, gradually exposures. So for my case, at the time, I wasn't feel comfortable yet to swim at the swimming pool and deeper end of the pool, which is just 2 meters that where you will need to float that you cannot stand. So that's my first actions. I slowly force myself to train on my own in a way. I just bring my friends to supervise me in a way to teach me just the basic things and did some YouTube videos self-learning on how to float, just keep on practicing, getting myself comfortable around the water, around a place, a point where I cannot even stand, that forced me to float. So it took me about half a years, keep on doing it almost every weekly, just to have my confidence build up. So that's the first step. Then the second step is that once you feel confident, you start to visualize. The power of visualization is that you just imagine, let's say, what you will happens when you go underwater, especially when you do scuba diving. What are the things that make you can survive underwater? So at that time, I haven't took my scuba diving course, but you have the internet, you have Google, you have YouTube. You can just search all the information up there about even just a basic of scuba diving. So at that time, I was like, okay, I just Google up what is scuba diving is and how do real people survive doing scuba diving. So one thing I learned, just a simple YouTube, is that you breathe underwater. Okay, the key here is breathing. So you just visualize it, how you breathe underwater. Okay, how does it feel? In a way, even though I never experienced it, but I try to visualize, I try to watch videos on the sounds of breathing, and then just to imagine myself doing it. Just imagine. Okay, so that's the second step. And thirdly is that I learned these things online in a way, which I always implement this to all my students, my scuba diving clients, is that whenever you want to do scuba diving, one of the key aspects is breathing. When I say breathing is deep breathings. Okay, you can Google this or I will talk this on another videos on we call a diaphragmatic breathing, where you deep breathe in using your stomach. It's not using your lungs. Okay, there's a technique of it. Okay, because it's like yoga. You deep breathe in and deep breathe out. It kind of makes you more relaxed in a controlled manner. You don't feel anxieties. So all of these things is that take it one step at a time. You don't need to rush it. That's why if you still have fears, take it slow. Break it down into small chunks on how you want to overcome it. So you can use my templates before this on how I break it down and implement it to yourself. And lastly is that I shift my focus of changing that fear into something that I'm curious about. I want to learn. What causes fear? What triggers fear? Why do I fear of water? Okay, so when you drill down on this, the simple way is that for myself is that why do I fear of being in the ocean? Firstly, because I'm not comfortable swimming. That's the thing. So I know, okay, because how do I tackle this? How not being comfortable swimming is that I keep on practicing swimming in the swimming pool, keep myself comfortable. Okay. Secondly, is that fear happen because You don't know what is going on, what is about to happen to you underwater. Like for example, of scuba diving, you don't know what is actually going to happen. Like your mind will keep thinking like, survival mode in a way, keep overthink. What if, okay, let's say one of the regulator taken out. What if my mask suddenly take it off? How do I breathe? Okay, this thing is an overthink of a human being. Okay, which when I took my course is that all these things will be teach all the survival skill. Like for example, your regulator coming off. How do you breathe? How do you recover that regulator coming off and breathe again? Hey, your mask coming out. You cannot see underwater. How do you tackle it? All those things is being covered in the scuba diving curriculum. So when you see, just learn about it. When you know things better, all these fears start to fade or in a way reduce, because you know all the things that triggers your fear is basically just the lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge that you don't know what is going to happen to you in an environment that you never experienced. Okay, now the next section will be about action. In a way, when I'm talking about action, is that it's just the action that you can do now. It doesn't need to be you need to enroll a scuba diving course. No, this action will just be like a practice for you on how you can, like, you want to start now, right? What you can do. Okay, first thing is that learn the breathing. You can do this. You don't need to enroll a scuba diving course. You just can YouTube diaphragmatic breathings. Okay, I'll share these videos on how to do it in the next videos. Okay, that's the first thing. And second thing is that if you haven't know or you have zero swimming skills, then it's time for you to just enroll in a basic swimming class. Okay, I really encourage people to go to at least have a basic swimming class rather than you go straight away without any swimming skills or any experience in the swimming pools, straight away going to scuba diving. I don't recommend that. Okay, yes, some instructors might just say yes, you can wait, but for me, let's take it this way. If you want to learn to run, you need to start to walk first, right? Just make it step by step process. So if you don't have any basic swimming, basic survival skills, just enroll to a basic swimming class. Or if you don't want to, or if you can just, if you have someone, a friend of yours or a family member that is good in swimming, at least can just teach you and supervise you on just the basic swimming. You can, all the knowledge here is now, you can Google it in YouTube, how to do swimming, how to do survival skills in the water. You can do that. But the practice part, okay, the practice part is because, swimming is, if you're not trained or if you're not experienced, I don't recommend you do it alone. Okay, at least have a buddy, someone that know how to swim, at least, and practice it in a swimming pool that you can stand. You can make sure you can stand, okay, at least a chest level, so that if anything happen, all you can do is just stand up, okay, and your buddy or your friend can just watch you. If anything happen, can talk to you and teach you a bit here and there on how to improve faster. And third thing is that if you already like have a basic swimmings and you already like learn that basic breathing, and you kind of want like just want to feel like is scuba diving the right activity for you, but you don't want to invest the full amount of fee or investment into taking a full license or scuba diving course, you can do what we call as a discover scuba diving. Okay, discover scuba diving is a short activity. It's just a 1 day activity where you are going to be exposed in what is scuba diving, what are the equipments, and you experience how do you breathe those equipments underwater, usually in the context of swimming pool. Okay, so this is a good way to, at least maybe you want to take it slow, step by step. So once you learn how to breathing, you have a basic swimming skills. Now you want to, okay, I want to challenge myself whether am I brave enough to take the full course yet or not. Then just take a Discover Scuba Diving. It's a 1 day course. You can contact your local dive center or anyone who knows that you provide this kind of service. or you can DM us. We also do provide Discover Scuba Diving in Kuala Lumpur. And lastly is that, it's good to journal this kind of activities. It's like your personal diary. If you feel like, when how do you know that you are progressing into something is when you start journaling things. So you have all the 5 things that I mentioned before: breathings, basic swimmings, visualizations, and then you want to challenge yourself to just attack and discover scuba diving. So when you journal this, you will like feel like the motivation is there, and like you feel like you're progressing because, oh, I did this, I did that, yeah, hey, I did good all these things. So now is just a matter of you to really want to be serious on it. Start to invest yourself in a full scuba diving courses to explore the real oceans and get yourself certified. Then go ahead. To conclude, all this is that overcoming fear, everyone has their own pace. Okay, you need to understand yourself. Like myself, I did a mistake that I straight away take scuba diving course without the pool session, without getting myself comfortable in the pool situation. I straight away go to the oceans, where that was my first time ever to swim at the open sea. Honestly, I did panic when the first test, which is the swimming test, the instructor asked me to swim, and yes, I did panic, and my mental and psychology at that time was okay, not stable, and I didn't manage to complete it. That was a short course, a 3 days course, and I didn't manage to complete it because on the second day I didn't feel well. I want to vomit underwater, so I feel like I want to give up that time, but I want to. I I don't have the energies or the mental desire at that time because I was really down because I think that I thought that I can finish it in this country, but I didn't. But that's okay. I come back to the cities, yeah, but and to think back again, like I want to finish what I started. So I trained. I exposed myself in the swimming pool now intensively, and I did come back for my course. I completed, and that stories I want to share to you all that like I take that example of myself that I am not able to complete a course in a straight 3 days without any pool sessions, and I don't want this thing because how to say it, I couldn't even able to complete myself in that 3 days course, which makes me think that there's a lot of other similar people like myself that might not be able to complete it in the 3 days course because of no pool sessions. And that's where I come up, and I want to help people, those who want to take it slow, want to learn properly, want to get their confidence of water in a step-by-step manners. Then I created my program in a way. I started with a basic survival skill to make yourself comfortable in the water without even using any scuba diving gear first. Just make yourself comfortable. Once you get comfortable, then you slowly transition into the scuba diving parts. And all this happens in a controlled environment in the city, in the swimming pools. And that's what I aspire to give to all my clients in a way. Those who ever feel like the same way like myself, feel free to reach me out, and we are happy to help.